Good morning. Who's on the line, please?
Mr. and
Katrina Shelton.
Mr. and Mrs. Mapes.
Ms. Mapes and Ms. Shelton. My name is Charlotte Callis. I'm the administrative law judge that will be conducting the hearing this morning. And are both sides ready to proceed at this point?
No, Your Honor, we're not ready. We've requested for reasonable accommodations that have not been met. And
Those reasonable accommodations would be what, Mr. Mapes?
Yes. We've given the state ample time to accommodate us, and even this hearing office, and they have refused our reasonable accommodation for legal counsel. And in the process, we've been... The
state of Indiana provides legal counsel through the office of, wait a minute, they have the funding for indigent people.
We've
tried, legal services.
Your Honor,
have you contacted legal services?
They refused us accommodations to represent us, ma'am.
Well, I don't have control over them.
Well, I do know that the state is allowed to have attorneys present, which they do have legal counsel that has, in fact, retaliated against us. Then this is a violation of our rights to substantive due process and equal opportunity to benefit from this program.
If the state of Indiana, the Family Social Service Agency provides attorneys, they would be representing the state of Indiana's side in the issue.
Well, regardless, ma'am, then this is a violation of our rights to substantive due process and equal access to this hearing. Yeah, this is creating, ma'am.
We can either go, Mr. Nate. Excuse me.
Ma'am, please do not become hostile with me. Ma'am, I was trying to speak and you're attacking me, and I want the record to show that I am recording this call and I will not be abused even by the judge.
I am recording this call also,
well, please do not abuse me, ma'am.
If you wish to try and reschedule the hearing, I'll be glad to reschedule it, or you can choose to go forth today.
We've asked to reschedule
it. That is
but...
your choices at this point, and if you do not agree with my decision, after I release it today, then if you choose to go forth as pro se, then you have two other options. You have to follow the
hearing. We're asking to reschedule the appointment until the state can honor. Ma'am, we're asking.
You would then ask for an agency review of the decision, and then if you were not happy with the agency review of the decision, you could take it to civil court, and civil court may at that point appoint you an attorney.
We're asking. No, civil court will not, ma'am. Ma'am, you're dissuading me further, alleging civil court to appoint an attorney. That's incorrect. I've spoken to civil courts in this state. It is appalling. Again, ma'am, I would like to reiterate where the state of Indiana must comply with the federal laws.
If legal services has refused to represent you, you might try for the Center for At-Risk Elders. They also have funding for indigent.
We've already contacted every attorney, every free legal counsel in the state, ma'am. It would seem that the state FSSA is using their impact, being a state agency and having knowledge of other attorneys, causing us an inconvenience where we're not going to be allowed to be represented, which is creating an undue burden and shown to disregard our rights to accommodations. And I do understand, Your Honor, you did take an oath to uphold the laws of the state and the U.S., so by violating our federal rights to accommodations, which are U.S. laws, you would then be violating your oath. So I would like to reiterate, how may you command or be coercive to disabled people and treat us unfairly in this hearing, allowing us not to have legal representation? Because that is not giving us...
Makes you fading out. Can you just speak louder, please?
We're a little concerned where we're not getting our rights to equal opportunity to participate in this.
Well, that would be your choice. If you do not wish to participate in the hearing,
ma'am, that's not our choice. We've asked for accommodations which haven't been met, shown in violation of federal and U.S. laws.
All right,
that is the choice of the hearing.
You wish to go forth today?
No, until we have proper legal counsel, because they're shown now a conflict of interest even with yourself.
And you have said that the ones that provide, do you have proof that legal services has refused to represent you?
Yes, I have email proof. I can screenshot those and show records where they've refused to represent us, alleging that they have the right to pick and choose the cases they want, which is showing that they've even violated.
Provide that to show that that they have refused to represent you, because there's no proof of that.
Regardless of the proof, ma'am, where's the proof of our accommodations being met? This has shown that this hearing.
That would be your accommodation.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Ma'am, you're
Social Services
ma'am,
is not responsible for providing you attorney.
They're responsible for complying with the accommodation laws for disabled people, which they've time and time again
Which we are
refused.
accommodating you by giving you a telephone hearing today, Mr. May.
That's a normal thing, ma'am. That's a standard. The accommodation is if you're going to allow a hearing to go forward, I will have to forward this on to the ongoing investigation, the U.S. Justice Department.
That would be fine, Mr. Mapes. I think we're going to go forth with the hearing.
I've requested not to go forth, ma'am. I've requested not to go forth with a hearing because you're already expressing bias and attacking me over the phone.
That's fine, Mr. Mapes. I'll put you down as being a reschedule until you can find yourself an attorney and find someone to represent you.
And I do request you recuse yourself because your behavior is showing that you're attacking a disabled person.
I am not attacking you.
Yes, ma'am. You're yelling at me and you're being very abrasive and intimidating.
You can provide proof that the agencies here in the state of Indiana that represent indigents have refused to represent you.
I can also provide proof from this call where you have been abusive and coerced me. So I would like you to recuse yourself at this time and have another judge appointed.
I am not going to recuse myself today, Mr. May.
Well, I'll be filing something requiring you to recuse yourself if you're going to continue this behavior.
Whether or not you qualify for cash assistance. Is that what you are asking, Mr. May?
Ma'am, at this time I've requested a reschedule.
Is that the original appeal? Is that you are appealing a denial of cash assistance? Is that correct?
I can't hear you without an attorney. I've already invoked my
You
right.
can't hear me without an attorney. All right, Mr. Mapes. I will be putting you down as a reschedule, and you will continue this until you find yourself an attorney.
Until my rights are upheld, ma'am, this will be continued, and this will be documented with the Justice Department for showing you have abused me and refused my accommodation.
Fine, sir. Until you find yourself an attorney, this will be a reschedule. All right?
Okay. I have it on the record. This will be a reschedule.
This will be a reschedule, and you need to have an attorney with you the next time, or we're going to go forth.
You can't go forward until we have legal representation, ma'am. You cannot threaten or coerce me. Ma'am, it's against the law, ma'am.
We will go forth, Mr. Mapes, the next time, because I'm giving you time to find yourself an attorney.
Are you going to continue to badger me? Are you going to allow me to talk, or are you going to continue to badger a disabled person, which is appalling to the oath you swore to uphold? I do believe in canon 1.1 of your judicial codes of conduct says you will not break the law, ma'am. You're not letting me state a fact here, ma'am. You keep interrupting me. I'm trying to speak. I've been trying to speak. You're impeding with my speech disability now, ma'am, and you're interfering with it. I'm going to repeat under canon 1.1 of the Judicial Code of Conduct. You may not break the law.
That does not apply to me at this point.
Yes, it does apply to you. Your behavior does apply to you, ma'am. You're a judge or a magistrate. Your behavior does apply to you where you've disregarded federal law.
You have the option of rescheduling. I will be rescheduling your hearing. You are to have an attorney at the next date. If you do not have a hearing, we will go forth. If you choose not to participate,
so you will go forth without you. You will go forth without. Hold on, ma'am. Let me ask you again.
And if you choose not to participate at that point in time, I will issue a decision.
You will go forward without honoring. Hold on.
Wait. Thank you very much.
I'm asking again. Ma'am, I'm trying to ask a question. Ma'am, this is called badgering when you don't let a disabled person speak, and it's very unprofessional.
I do not have time for this.
Well, time for what? I'm trying to state something. Since we've already opposed the action of our accommodation, you may not threaten or coerce us and by telling us if we don't find an attorney by then, you're not going to honor us.
Options, Mr. May. We will be rescheduling this hearing.
I will be contacting the Federal Bureau of Investigation for your abuse this morning, ma'am. You are violating your ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. May. I am going to hang up now. Thank you.
I didn't hear anything you said.
The conference will be terminated in